Do you hear the rain outside? It's getting harder. We can thank Blake Lively for that. Why? Well, it is raining cats and dogs in her life right now. Guys, thank you for joining me. My name is Sister Cerise, and we're going to get in today about Blake Lively, the updates, what's going on in her life, this new movie that she is doing with Anna Kendrick, and so much more. Thank you for joining. Ladies and gentlemen, now there is something to be said about resilience. I believe Blake Lively was, doing her wifely duties when she went to the courts to file the grievance suit against Justin Baldoni. Like, why go and do a grievance? If somebody has been sexually harassing you, YouTube doesn't like those words, so we'll do something else with them. If somebody is doing that to you, then why is it that you're only going to the courts to give a grievance and you're not going to the courts to say, yo, this happened to me? I want the world to know, because I don't want him to do it to another co-host, because they were co-hosts. Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively were in a movie together called It Ends With Us. Watch my other videos on that, because I talk about it a lot, especially in the video that I just put out last week about Blake Lively and getting sued by Jed Wallace. Now, these things are not stopping, but there's something else that's not stopping. My girl is not stopping. She's on a train that's about to crash, and she's trying to climb out those windows and get into the water and go downstream, because this new movie that she's starting with Anna Kendrick is blowing my mind. Now, I thought about it over and over again, and I'm like, who would hire this woman and try to put her into a movie with what is happening right now in her life? And then it hit me. I realized, oh, no, they didn't cast her recently. These movies in Hollywood, they take a long time to film. They take a long time to prepare. And so what happened was they casted her in that movie after It Ends With Us made so many hundreds of millions. They're like, oh my gosh, Blake, you're doing so well again. This is so awesome. You want to come? My dog just moved my camera. That's all right. The show must go on, just like Blake. There we go. And they're like, oh my gosh, why don't you come on our movie with Anna Kendrick? It will be amazing. She's like, of course I will. 2 hours later, she goes and she files a grievance motion against Baldoni. Now, this is what makes me think that Ryan Reynolds is in the background of it all, because that is ridiculous. Her claims against Justin Baldoni and not going all the way to court. Like, who goes to a whorehouse just to get kissed? I know it's a little raw to say that, but who does? If you're going to go do a job, you're going to do it. Who goes to the paint store just to buy paint and look at it in your living room? You're going to paint your walls and then look at the finished product. This woman only took him to grievance court and did not completely sue him. But when he clapped back and sued her, because he's suing her with defamation of character, he's like, listen, you can't defame my character. And not only that, he's suing her husband. Why is he suing her husband? We don't know all of this, but we can surmise, because where there is fire, we know that there is something getting torn down. And I won't even call this situation smoke, because it's way past smoke. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I will not use that little adage there. I will definitely say that there is fire. Now, let's take it a little bit farther. What is Ryan doing? So much so, he was looking at the dailies. You know the dailies? If you don't know, I'll just explain it. So on set, when the actors are doing everything throughout the day, you can go and you can look at the dailies, like what was actually happening before it was edited. And that's what Ryan did. He went on set one day, just strolled on set and looked at the dailies. After that, he was showing up daily, and he was trying to take control of the film, allegedly. And this is what's being said. So, let's just put it down flat. 12 years these two have been married, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. Now, they had their children and everything like that, but do you remember how they met? And the little rumors behind that, what is being alleged there? That he was not very faithful when he was with Scarlett Johansson, and that something happened on a movie set with him and Blake Lively. Okay? The Green Lantern, I believe it was. So with that being said, maybe he is a little bit insecure that Blake is doing the same thing again. Maybe feeling very emotional as well, because when she was on set, she had a 4-month-old baby. And when she was on set, she was expected to lose weight. So she was probably talking about Justin losing weight, getting her lines right, and everything with Ryan every single night. Day, probably morning, waking up in the wee hours of the morning, checking her phone, seeing what Baldoni is texting her. And Ryan was not used to this because for a very long time, Blake was actually a housewife. Yes, she started out in The Gossip Girl. Yes, she did some notable movies. But at the end of the day, as of lately, not lately now, but when she was making the movie, It Ends With Us, just before that, she was like pregnant, all laid up and raising babies. So when you look at that, having the opportunity to get out of baby retirement, take your baby on set with you, breastfeed your baby while you're in your trailer and everything. It's a great offer. And you think to yourself, this is going to be an awesome movie. But remember, watch my other videos because Ryan kind of just went all in and he tried to take over. So there's a reason why Baldoni feels that he has merit to sue Ryan Reynolds as well, to the tune of $400 million. Now, they may settle out of court because Ryan Reynolds is worth $600 million. He's almost to billionaire status. Nevertheless, they are scheduled to go to court March 6, 2026. So in just over a year. So It Ends With Us, a very successful movie about DV, domestic V. And it made hundreds of millions. But now what happened during all of the interview stages and everything, going on, doing the promotional after production stuff, Blake was a little insensitive when it came to a lot of crap. Like, for instance, even on set, she was insensitive. She ran the budget, the clothing budget, the wardrobe budget, $430,000 over budget. $500,000 almost. How do you do that? So anyway, they were just rolling with her, but they were taking the clothing to her house as opposed to her going to the studio to try on the wardrobe and everything like that. Maybe she was going through postpartum depression or something because she had just had a baby and everything. In any case, she was also trying to lose a lot of weight. In any case, she was also saying in her grievance lawsuit that she was being fat shamed. Anyway, this lawsuit happened with her coming out saying that Justin Baldoni is doing a smear campaign on her, astroturfing her. You remember those magazines from back in the day, the Inquirer and stuff of that nature, smut magazines that you get at the point of purchase counter in grocery stores? Well, she was saying that he was doing that to her and that he was trying to say that she's not a very good person. But, he wasn't doing any of that. He wasn't doing any of that at all. Apparently, he can prove it and he has the receipts. Not only that, she went and filed a grievance lawsuit against him, but it's only a complaint. Okay. And she said in that lawsuit that he was doing a lot of inappropriate things to her on set. Now, if he's doing these inappropriate things to you on set, why are you only filing a grievance? That's why it makes me think that her husband was quite possibly behind this. Blake started to give all of this, he's smelling my hair too much. He's kissing me and it's not in the script. He's doing this and he's doing that. I wonder She wasn't complaining before that. And their texts are coming out. Like, they were texting 2:00 in the morning, okay? The text between Blake Lively and also Justin Baldoni. Like, I'll just give you an example off the top of my head. Justin Baldoni said, I like the asshole. I like the sweet, or I'm just paraphrasing. I like the sweet Blake, the sensitive Blake, something like that. And she's like, I've never met her. And he said, oh, don't worry. I also like the asshole Blake. And she's like, I met her, and so have my suppositories. Are you really going to talk to a man that is doing sexual harassment against you? Come on. You really going to talk like that? Well, guess what? I think, and this is just my own thoughts and I'm entitled to them, I think Ryan Reynolds caught wind of it. Let's move forward into what happened after the smear grievance. Okay. Well, Baldoni said, no. Blake, you can't come at me like that. I had your back on set. I was there for you. $430,000 over budget on wardrobe alone. We let you have some type of script, writing. She wanted to rewrite the whole script and he wasn't really down with it, but he thought, okay, show me what you got. He tried to work with her. He even got her a producer credit. How is this girl a producer when she was only hired to act? Yeah, but he was extorted into doing that, apparently, allegedly. So anyway, he had enough, because when this lawsuit hit December 2024, with her complaining, not only did that hit, but the New York Times wrote a horrible article about Baldoni. Baldoni first clapped back by saying, none of this is true. Nobody is trying to smear this woman. She just is a very unlikable person during interviews and her own fans are turning against her. Then he took it a step farther and he sued New York Times, but I'm thinking he did that because he wanted the receipts. When you sue somebody for a certain situation, what happens is you get the receipts afterwards. You can get the receipts because what you're doing is you're trying to get all of the information together of why they felt they had merit to write that article. And they were working on that article ever since October. Can you imagine that? They released it in December. They did tell him that they were, going to put that article out, and they didn't give him enough time to respond. So he says, but he probably thought to himself, like, this is just ridiculous. Like, the New York Times is not going to write an article like this. So he didn't respond. And by right, if someone doesn't respond with a huge newspaper like that, with the New York Times, if someone doesn't respond, do you think that they're going to go ahead and write an article like that on a A-lister? Anyway, what happened now is he clapped back and he said, I am suing the pants off you too. And he got all of the stuff from New York Times, like all of the text messages and everything, and some of them were doctored. All the receipts that Blake Lively had, most of them were doctored. Texts back and forth, they were doctored. That just means they were changed. So when he saw that, he said, Blake, I'm going to sue you and I'm going to sue your husband. $400 million. Wow. I do believe it will be settled out of court because the court date is set for March 6th, 2026. There's going to be a lot of talk happening. And I think what they're going to also wait for is for the release of the film with Anna Kendrick. Now, this film, directed by Paul Feig, is set to premiere at SXSW 2025. This sequel unites Lively with Anna Kendrick and follows their characters as they navigate a suspended plot in Capri. Now, I believe that Ryan is going to wait to settle any lawsuits. They're probably going to see how the public receives this movie. that is the sequel. Because, they're making a sequel because the first movie was good. Nobody makes a sequel for a crappy movie, and so these two are going to be reunited, and they're hoping that they're going to clean everything up. Now, I think Anna is probably saying, well, why didn't you just wait until after Another Simple Favor was being released? Like, why couldn't you wait, Blake? But, and with all of its ins and outs and backs and forths and ups and downs, I'm pretty sure that this is going to get figured out. And if Another Simple Favor doesn't really do well, then I know that for sure Ryan and Blake are going to be like, yeah, you know what, just settle. Why not? Like, just settle. The people are not really feeling us. They didn't even watch this movie. Even the loyal people who liked the first movie didn't even go to see it. The reviews are so bad. Ooh, ow, ouch. And this is what they could be saying when that does happen. But who knows what's going to happen? It could be the total opposite. People could watch Blake Lively in that film and be like, wow, this film is so good. We forgot how much we did really love her. And then when she does the promotion, the after production promotion and everything, people might be like, oh, she's really good in her interviews right now, but really at the end of the day, the receipts say it all. Does she really want to go to court like Amber Heard did against Johnny Depp? That's exactly what this case is looking like. So what we're going to do is just follow the trail. We're going to watch this train go down the track. And right now it looks like it's crashing, but Blake Lively might just jump out a window and swim upstream, because there does look like she's trying to get a way out. But again, we don't know what's happening behind the scenes. Like, is Ryan Reynolds controlling her? It's hard to believe that someone like Blake Lively could be controlled, especially after she was, bombarding Justin Baldoni with all of these texts saying, my dragons, talking about Taylor Swift, and also talking about her husband, Ryan Reynolds, saying that I have dragons in my corner, and they'll be in your corner too. You just got to give me what I want, all this stuff. And I'm starting to think that Ryan Reynolds got really involved. And I wouldn't even be surprised if that text was written by Ryan and, her just grabbing him just grabbing her phone and saying, here, let me talk to him. I'll tell him. Because also in that text, it was also written that they're good looking. Let's pour some tea. Good looking? You guys, I wish I had that text right now to show you, and I really should, but it just came off the top of my head. But if you guys look at the dragon text, just look it up online. The dragon text, oh my gosh. I'm going to try to look for it as I'm editing this video to see if I can find it and just put it right here. I'm telling you, when that part was read, when that part came out, I was like, why would she call her dragons good looking, right? That sounds like a dude. So was it Ryan Reynolds behind the scenes getting dirty? I don't know. But that movie is coming out, Another Simple Favor, and it's coming out. It is not going to stop. This whole lawsuit going on with Baldoni, and also Blake Lively is going to have to be put on hold. But I'm sure we're going to hear more and more about it, because Blake just seems like she's trending right now for all of the wrong reasons. And I really hope that Anna doesn't catch any backlash from the movie as well, because there's nothing worse than a movie tanking. But you know what? I mean, on a good note, sometimes sequels always tank, and the first movie is always good. But we never know. So let's just kind of roll with the flow and see what's happening when it comes to Blake and Justin Baldoni, and it ends with us and Ryan Reynolds, and also the lawsuit, and then Anna Kendrick with Another Simple Favor. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Sister Cerise, and I'm sitting here with you. I'm so happy that you are joining me and spending time with me. YouTube, I know, suggested a lot of videos for you, but you clicked on this one, and that tells me that you are a superstar. You are a real one. YouTube also tells me that 97% of my viewers are not subscribed. So if you can please go ahead and subscribe, you'll help my channel grow. I have a goal right now. I'm at 855 subscribers, and I got to get to 1,000. So that's my goal right now for the month of March. And we're not even in March right now. We are only February 9th. Now, I'm going to be making another video right now, putting it out today about Justin Baldoni. And it's not actually Baldoni. It's kind of really sad. He broke down in an interview. And we're going to talk about that in the next video. He tomorrow has an article coming out February 10th, and that is supposed to be a hot one. He's breaking down, and he's sad, and he's talking about his anxiety that he had to go through during the filming. And I'm sure these are just the beginning indicators for us to know what that man went through. He's a very nice man. All right. Thank you so much for joining me again. Subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. I'm your girl, Sister Cerise. Thank you so much for joining me. Be good to yourself out there because you deserve it.